ChatGPT ads just changed AI visibility. ChatGPT ads are here, and I think most marketers are going to misunderstand what just happened. They're going to look at this and say, okay, OpenAI has an ad platform now. It's another place to buy clicks. That's the least interesting part. The important part is that advertising has entered the conversation itself. People aren't just typing three-word searches into ChatGPT. They're explaining what they need. They're describing their business, their problem, their budget, their location, what they've already tried, and what they're comparing. That creates an entirely different kind of commercial intent environment, and OpenAI is now selling access to it. From keywords to conversations, Google Ads was built around the query. Somebody searches best CRM for small business. Advertisers bid on that demand, and Google determines which ads appear. ChatGPT has much richer context. A user might say, I run a 15-person accounting firm in Florida. Most of our business comes from referrals, but competitors are starting to appear when people ask ChatGPT for accounting firms. We rank pretty well in Google. What should we do? That isn't just a keyword. It's an entire commercial situation. A ChatGPT can understand that this is a Florida business, that it's a professional services company, that the problem involves AI discovery, that traditional SEO is already working, and that the user may be evaluating AI visibility services. That is the fundamental difference. OpenAI calls the advertiser inputs that help with this matching context hints. They describe the conversations, topics, and intent areas where an advertiser may be relevant. So we're moving from keyword targeting towards something closer to conversation intent targeting. The two AI visibility systems. This creates something I've been expecting to happen eventually. Paid and organic AI visibility now exist inside the same decision environment. Organic AI visibility works roughly like this: conversation to understanding to retrieval to inclusion to selection to recommendation. The objective is to make sure AI systems understand your entity, find sufficient evidence about it, and consider it relevant enough to cite, include, or recommend. ChatGPT Ads introduces another path: conversation to commercial intent to ad eligibility to auction to sponsored placement. These are separate systems. You cannot buy your way into ChatGPT's answer. And we should be very careful about claiming that strong, organic AI authority automatically improves advertising performance. OpenAI hasn't established that relationship, but both systems care about something increasingly important: semantic relevance. The system needs to understand what you are, what you offer, who you serve, and when you're relevant. That is why I think ChatGPT Ads is much more interesting than simply another PPC platform. But I'm testing. OpenAI is currently offering new advertisers $500 in advertising credit after spending $500. I'm looking at that as a $1,000 experiment, not an advertising campaign, an experiment. Instead of creating one broad campaign for AI SEO, I want to break commercial demand into specific conversational situations. For example, someone asking why their company isn't appearing in ChatGPT, someone researching generative engine optimization, someone comparing SEO, GEO, and AEO, someone looking specifically for an AI visibility audit, someone trying to determine how their company can become recommended by AI systems, someone in Florida looking for an agency that understands AI search. Each represents a different intent state. The question is whether those different conversational contexts produce meaningfully different advertising performance. Then we can compare those results against organic AI visibility for similar prompts. That gives us something much more interesting than CTR. We can start asking, where are we organically visible? Where are we commercially relevant enough to receive paid impressions? Where do we appear organically and through advertising? Where do we appear in neither? And which conversational situations actually produce qualified business? That starts looking like a measurable AI decision surface. The bigger opportunity. The advertising agencies will arrive quickly. They'll learn the interface. They'll learn CPC bidding. They'll upload creatives. They'll optimize conversion rates. That's inevitable. But I think the larger opportunity is understanding the architecture underneath the advertising. What conversations indicate commercial intent? How should those conversations be classified? What information does an advertiser need to provide so the system clearly understands the offer? How should the landing page reinforce that classification? And how does paid visibility compare with organic inclusion and recommendation across the same intent categories? That's not traditional PPC. It's closer to commercial intent engineering for AI systems. And if conversational interfaces continue becoming a meaningful part of product discovery, the companies that understand this layer early are going to accumulate something more valuable than campaign experience. They're going to accumulate data about how AI systems classify commercial demand. That data compounds. The takeaway: ChatGPT Ads doesn't replace AI SEO, GEO, AEO, or traditional search advertising. It creates another layer. For the first time, businesses can compete organically for inclusion in an AI-generated answer while also competing commercially for sponsored visibility adjacent to that same decision process. Those systems need to remain clearly separated, but marketers should measure both, because the real question is no longer simply, where do I rank? It's becoming, when an AI system helps someone make a decision in my market, how much of that decision surface does my company occupy? That's the experiment I'm interested in, and ChatGPT Ads just gave us another way to measure it. About Todd Wade. Todd Wade is the founder of BackTier and Ninja AI, where he works on AI visibility, the systems that influence whether organizations are discovered, understood, cited, included, and recommended by AI platforms. His work focuses on generative engine optimization, GEO, answer engine optimization, AEO, entity architecture, structured data, citation infrastructure, and the emerging mechanics of commercial discovery inside AI systems. Jason hosts the AI Visibility podcast, examining how AI is changing search, discovery, authority, commerce, and digital strategy. Jason Wade, jasonwade.com, BackTier, BackTier.com, Ninja AI, NinjaAI.com.